At 6 feet 9 inches tall and 235 pounds, freshman forward Nick Ward is a commanding presence on campus as he walks to and from classes. What few people realize is that MSU's newest big man on campus is one of the gentlest and most soft-spoken newcomers to ever earn a spot on the Michigan State roster.
Nick was really shy growing up, big kid. Nick had the luxury of playing when he was 3 and able to have a father who was really involved in sports and really loved basketball and was able to teach him the ins and outs and a lot of the fundamentals, that I didn't get to experience.
Well, I was real young, my dad played overseas and everything, and we had a court. Every day, me and my dad would go outside and just work on things. Like, he didn't know if I was gonna be a post or a guard, so I work on my guard skills, I work on post skills.
Nick's always had his dream of playing in the NBA. That's Nick's dream. That's about every kid's dream. He always wanted to know what my struggles were or what I had to do to kind of get to the level I was at. And, for Nick, it was a blessing that I was able to go through those struggles because it allowed me to ensure that he didn't have to go the same path that I went through, but he can achieve a dream that I dreamed of.
Fueled by the desire to play professionally from a young age, Nick was on the fast track for early offers from college programs around the nation before life delivered an unexpected bump in the road.
Nick had a journey, and that journey was he was hurt in his freshman year. We were in Cincinnati. First play of the game, he came out and he was undercut, and that was that.
I landed funny, I heard it. I broke a piece of my tibia bone. And I tried to get up, I couldn't get up, and it was real swollen, so that's when I knew. And plus I heard it, but I didn't know what it was. I was out for, 5 months, 5.5 months, and I couldn't even bend my leg for 3 months, Plus it was in the summer, so you're high school, you wanna go have fun. So I had to stay in the house, that's why I gained my weight. So, while everybody was getting these offers and everything, I couldn't do anything. I couldn't even work on my game. I had to go, most of the time I didn't even leave the house just because I couldn't do anything.
It was actually miraculous to see it. Often I think about it and it actually brings tears to my eyes because I remember I would sit up with him. He had surgery and my husband and I we were at his room and he woke up and the first thing he said was, Mom, where's Dad? And Daddy was in the chair sleeping, but he was there no less.
I viewed it as a learning lesson, being smarter with things, and a maturity lesson. I had to be mature about things. I couldn't be envious of nobody because that's not how I was raised, and that's not right to be envious of anybody. And so I had to view it as I had to work for it even harder now, and just to go get it. You have to go, anything you want, you gotta go get it. You gotta have a mindset, you gotta have a positive mindset to go just do it,
If Nick gets something in his head, it's a wrap. That's what he's gonna do, and he's gonna achieve it. And I'm proud of that because I've often said, you have a path, and he's always had a path. He's always said what he was gonna do. Since he was 4 years old, he drew a picture for my mom, and he said, "This is for you, Nana, and this is what I'm gonna do."
Ever since I was little, I've been the underdog, because I wasn't real big when I was little. I hit my growth spurt kind of late, so everybody's getting these offers their freshman year. I got some offers my freshman year, but not Michigan State, none of that, nowhere big like that. I got all my big offers toward my beginning of my sophomore year. So I was always the underdog, People say I'm too small for this, I'm too slow, I'm not athletic enough, And so ever since I have a little chip on my shoulder that I can do anything I set my mind to, Speaking of that, I just, when somebody doubts me, that's the worst thing you can do because I'm gonna prove to you that I can do it and exceed that limit.
By the time Nick's junior year rolled around, he began to climb the scouting sheets of colleges across the country once again. But of all the offers, only one stood out to Nick and his family.
We had a home visit, and we'd been visited by other coaches, and Nick had numerous offers. But when Coach Izzo said, I'm going to be tough. I'm not going to tell you that I'm not, but I'll make sure that we take care of your son. I was done. That was that. Because I feel like so often people tell you what they think you want to hear instead of what should be said. And he said he was going to push Nick. He said he was going to make him work, and I appreciate that.
He's honest. He's trustworthy. I could trust him. Some of these coaches that was recruiting me, I couldn't trust. He wants the best for you, you know. Even though I was always told not to listen to how the message is being portrayed, just listen to the message. So even if he's yelling it at you, he always wants the best for you, and I really like that.
Nick is an interesting guy. When he first came here, he didn't get along with anybody. I mean, he just was the roughest, toughest guy, you know. And so when we explained to him, no, these are your teammates, you know, this is the way you do it. I think he was just bringing something that he really didn't know from high school to college. And this summer, I gained more respect for Nick Ward than almost any player I've had here. And the reason is, you know, he had to lose some weight. He ended up losing 30 pounds. He had to change his game a little bit. He did a good job of that. He's made probably the most strides. You look at his free throw shooting, it's percentage-wise not great yet, but he's worked at it so much harder. You know, Nick's another guy that, like a lot of big guys, has got to learn from liking the game to loving the game. But if you look at the position we threw him into, you know, no bigs left with the injuries to Carter and Schilling. And then, of course, the injury to Miles, who at least was a running mate. Nick Ward hung in there on his own. I worry sometimes now, does that freshman wall hit? Because he's played a decent amount of minutes, but he's kept his weight off. He's done everything that he needs to do. He's growing as an experienced guy. And as he does that and takes the game, you know, to a new level with the love of the game, I think we got a real diamond here in Nick Ward.
From highlight reel dunks and alley-oops to hard-fought rebounds and defense, Nick Ward brings a different level of energy to an already impressive Michigan State roster this season. But while most people only see the points he scores for the Spartans, Nick shows his love for the game on his face.
When Nick was growing up, when he was little, he would always smile. It doesn't matter what the situation was in the game, he would always smile. For me, I enjoy that because I knew he was enjoying the game. And sometimes that smile could have been a nervous smile, you know, but it always happens. A lot of coaches used to come up to me and say, why does Nick always smile all the time? I just say he enjoys playing the game. That's why he smiles all the time.
When you love what you do every day and it brings joy to you and others, you know, why not smile? You know, smile for many reasons. Because I'm happy to be alive, you know, living, you know, every day. You're above ground, it's a blessing. So smile because of that. I'm just a positive person, you know. I just think about the positive things, what God has done for me, and I can't help but smile. So smile during the games because I wouldn't say I know the outcome, but I always have a positive mindset towards the outcome, if that makes sense. Even when, say I'm getting yelled at about something, I'll still smile because I know coaches do not have love and compassion, and he has a good reason for everything. So, like after the play, I like smile and make myself laugh about something because I don't try to get down on myself too much, but you know, you're yourself's hardest critic.
Drive inside by Joshua Leonard. Oh, and slammed in, Ward uncovered, coming off the weak side for the Spartans.
We talk just about every day, and he tells me what his dreams are, and I know what his dreams are. And to see him actually living those dreams and taking those footsteps to get to his ultimate goal, that makes a parent proud. And as long as I see him smiling, I know he's happy, and I know he's where he needs to be. It's gratifying to me to know that he's in the right path.
He reminds me so much of Zach Randolph. I mean, not only his body, not only his skill level, but when Nick is focused in, he's a lovable, fun guy to be around, you know, and he's learning how to do that on a more regular basis. And we told him when he came in the summer, you got to learn to smile, enjoy yourself a little bit. So now maybe he's gone a little too far to the right. So he's finding his niche, but man, if I took every player on our team, some had more to go than others, no question about it, but who's improved the most from June till now, Nick Ward would be my #1 candidate.
Season series from the Spartans. They already beat it back in Columbus. Michigan State looking to prevent another loss to Ohio State here tonight. Here comes Aaron Harris off the screen, elevates for the three and buries it. The kick to Ellis. The senior's having his best year, and an early three tonight for Alvin Ellis III. Knocks down a three that puts Ohio State on top. It's a 10-0 run for the Buckeyes. Turnover as Loving can't handle the pass. And then not much of a challenge at the other end. Harris to Ward. That was nice. Sizing up Loving, and he's got some stuff he just can't teach. Ellis looks like he will run out the clock, and Michigan State gets a win that they had to have.
Coming this fall to the Breslin Center, the Tom Izzo Basketball Hall of History will allow Spartan fans to see history come to life in numerous displays adorning the facility. Besides physical artifacts, features like the following will help tell the story of the program that is Michigan State basketball and the people that have made it all happen.
I'm Gus Ganakas. Came to Michigan State in 1946. I was a student here, then became a coach in high school, eventually ended back at Michigan State working for the athletic department. I remember it was a freshman in high school, one of our courses was on our vocation. We had to write a report on a vocation. I was an athlete in high school, and I always either was going to continue with my athletic career or be a coach, and so that's the vocation that I chose as a freshman in high school. Out of high school, I joined a United States Marine Corps. Was during World War II. I spent 25 months in the Marine Corps. Was in the Battle of Okinawa, and then my time was coming to be discharged from the Marine Corps, and I went back to the States. I decided that I was going to go to college. I always intended to go to college, but at the time that I graduated in high school was 1944. And at that time, you didn't think about college. When I got out, I knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a coach. I wanted to go and play athletics if possible. I just applied to a couple of colleges. Ithaca College, which was near my hometown in New York, Western New York, and Michigan State, and maybe a couple others, but I heard from Michigan State first. My goal was to graduate as soon as possible, so I went to every summer school for 3 years. But I stayed on for another year and got my master's degree because the government was paying the tuition and jobs were hard to get. I finally got a job as a teacher, not as a coach, at Olivet High School. From then, the head basketball coaching job at East Lansing opened up. I hadn't had any experience as a head coach, but they hired me anyway. They liked the interview they had, and that was the beginning, really, of my career as far as moving up the ladder. I won coaching at East Lansing High School. We won the state championship in 1958. I had a friend that was a baseball player at Michigan State, Jack Kinney. He became the head of the alumni office. One of the departments was fundraising for athletics, and I became the coordinator of what they call the Ralph Young Fund. So I left East Lansing for a couple of years, actually, to take that job. And while I had that job, John Bennington became the head basketball coach at Michigan State. He succeeded Forty Anderson. And then he hired me as an assistant. So I was in this administrative job. And then I left that and became the assistant coach under John Bennington. Not too long, 2-3 years. And then John had a heart attack and died, which was really very tragic because he was a tremendous person, tremendous coach. And then Biggie Munn was the athletic director, and he promoted me to the head coaching job at Michigan State in basketball. At that time, Michigan State, when I was coaching, it was all football. The basketball, we had some great coaches here prior to me, one of which was Pete Newell, was nationally famous. And then his assistant, John Bennington, became the head coach. And I don't put myself in that category, but it's basketball at Michigan State, was second fiddle to football. But then through their efforts and the success that Judd Heathcote had, and now Tom Izzo, it's become, a major, not just another sport. It's got national exposure in abundance, and it deservingly so. When they reassigned me, I thought, well, it'll just be another career for me. And I wasn't going to leave East Lansing. My children were all born here and going to elementary school, high school, and I liked living in East Lansing and being associated with Michigan State University. So leaving here really didn't cross my mind to continue in coaching. I thought, I'll just go in administration. My whole career has been one that I've enjoyed. Whatever I did, I was an administrator, a coach, and the radio, the TV. I've gained a lot of exposure and met a lot of talented people and acquired friends. So it's been very fulfilling. It really helped bridge the gap.
What are you going to do in the second half? Hopefully play a little better.
I love Michigan State. For me, and being a part of it, a small part of it from a coaching standpoint, but as a student, it fills me with a lot of pride of how this school grew from Michigan State College, known probably, I didn't ever know about the name Michigan State College, but it became a nationally prominent university. I like being remembered and associated with Michigan State University and with a very successful athletic program.
No place may be louder than Mackey this afternoon. They are ready to go.
I love this place. Metal all over the place. Every single sound vibrates off the roof. It is awesome and it is electric. scores. Hey, that's big time.
Here's Dakota Mathias, one of those top three-point shooters, and he hits his first try. But quickly, Tum there, one of the fastest players in the Big Ten. Vincent Edwards, one-on-one against Bridges. Good defense from the freshman. Edwards scores anyway. Alvin Ellis was red hot in his last game and picks up where he left off. At 3 has Michigan State back on top. Swanigan answers with a 3. Harris for 3, no. And there's Miles Bridges again. What an athlete.
I'm telling you, not only an athlete, but he's a smart basketball player. Gets the ball out to others, leads to a dunk.
Hey, you got to give Bridges a lot of credit for that basket. Feed Ward again. This time double team comes. Interesting how Purdue has been the team that's double teamed in the post. Winston all the way. Flipped it up off the glass. Haas lost it. Spartans on the run. Bridges. Michigan State playing short end, and I'm not sure there was much they could have done today, though. With Mackey the way it was.